So the reason why we wanted to have today's Tech Talk on 2023 at a glance is in case you missed any of the enhancements and features that we added last year, or maybe we added them and it was after your event happened and you have your next event coming up. We want to make sure that you are using Conference Tracker to its fullest capability. So one of the first things we added was the conference countdown. So on your event landing page, you can now create a countdown, which will tell you and the attendees how many days, hours, and minutes until the actual event starts. Now, to enable this, if you go to settings in general, you actually will be able to set it up there, and you're going to be able to customize the text. So instead of saying conference, you could say event, expo. You can actually customize that text. We're also going to be doing registration notifications as well. So you actually receive an email whenever an attendee or an exhibitor registers to your conference. So before, you used to have to sign into Conference Tracker and see did any new attendee register to your event. Now you can set up an email notification to be sent to yourself every time a new attendee or exhibitor registers. And to set that up, which Garrett's going to show us when we get into the software today, if you go to Advanced Options, Settings, and go to the exhibitor or attendee registration, there's a little toggle there you'll be able to enter there and any emails in which you want to receive that notification. One of the newer features is our exhibitor booth registration. So you're gonna be able to create and manage your exhibitor booth registrations in your registration link so that you can upload your floor plan, and then you're gonna be able to then choose which spaces are available for exhibitors to choose when registering to your event. So they can pick their spot, and each exhibit space can actually have its own cost as well. So you'll be able to plot the spots and how much each space costs. And to get there, if you just go to exhibitors, and there will be a new link there for booth registration, you'll be able to, again, upload your map and then plot your different booth spaces. We also added specific user discounts. So this allows you to create online registration discount codes for specific users. So the reason we added this is if you had a member versus a non-member rate, right? Instead of just sending a discount code to those members, you could actually apply the discount code to members that have certain emails. So, or this could be really used for any type of use. That's probably the most common use for this particular feature. So you can actually enter the emails of all of your members, and they can they're the only ones that will be able to use that member discount. Now to set this up, if you go to Advanced Options, Discount Coupons, they'll be automatically applied during registration, and you'll just import a list of those emails of your members, or again, anyone in which you want to be able to use that particular discount code during registration. Now, something that was widely requested by a lot of our clients was after an attendee or an exhibitor registers, they wanted the ability for them to go back and edit their session registration. So as the attendee registered and they choose which session they want to go to, well, now they change their mind and they want to unregister and register for a new session. So with this particular feature, attendees will be able to do that. Even though during registration they registered for sessions, they can change their mind and go ahead and edit those session registrations. Or some of our clients, maybe their session registration isn't open yet, and the attendee registers. Well, now you have your schedule set. The attendees can go back and they can set their session registration up. Now, the way to do that is to go to settings and go to attendee registration, and then you'll be able to see in the screenshot here, attendees, the session registration transactions. So once they do make a change to their session registration, you'll actually be able to see what changes were made. And if there was a cost difference, if you need to issue any type of refund because they changed the registration from something that was paid to unpaid, you'll actually be able to see the credit that you're going to be able to refund. We also have automatic payment reminders. So this allows you to now automatically send payment reminders to attendees upon completion of their online registration. So before you kind of just had to go see, well, who hasn't paid and send a reminder manually. Now you can set up automatic payment reminders. And the way you do that is go to your settings and payments, and then set a due date before and after. And Garrett will actually walk you through this process when we get into Conference Tracker. And another one of our newer features is our schedule at a glance. So before you had, you could actually see the entire schedule. But now if you just want to show a snapshot, a glance at your schedule, you're going to be able to create that. And you can add things rather than just your sessions as well. For example, if you wanted to add a lunch, a dinner, an excursion, a break, your breaks within your schedule. Now your attendees from the landing page will be able to see the whole schedule without seeing the individual sessions at a glance. Now to create that, if you go to conference, there'll be a new link there for schedule at a glance, in which you'll be able to create this. And something minor that we added was some new badge formatting and a snap grid. Now what the proper case was added for is, during registration especially, or if you're uploading your registration or your attendee information, if your attendees typed, their name all in lowercase or all in uppercase, they didn't use proper case, this allows you to, still accept the attendee's registration or import them, but make sure that on their badge that it's going to be proper case or all uppercase. So you can choose which of any of the text, any of the keywords that you put on the attendee's badge, whether you want it to be proper case, uppercase, all lowercase, or just whatever they entered as a default case. So it is going to really help you with first name and last name when the attendees type in all uppercase or all lowercase. Now we also added a snap grid, and this is so you can perfectly align and center your images, your keywords, text, things like that. So just another functionality to kind of help you make your badge more professional. This was added, I think, just a month or two ago. It's our new conference evaluation. So it's a way to quickly set up a survey to gather feedback from your attendees. So this is a survey for the entire event that you would typically send after to get feedback from them. Now, to set this up, if you just go to conference, there'll be a new link there for conference evaluation. There actually will be a template already there, so you can use a default template, or you can actually ask your questions from scratch. And I think your options are going to be like multiple choice, multiple answer, fill in the blank, thumbs up, thumbs down, smiley face, frown face, a couple of different options to answer these questions. And this has actually been out quite a while, and probably one of my favorite newer features from 2023 was our post-expiration mode. I can't tell you how many times one of my clients has emailed or called me and said, hey, I need to get back into my account because I need to send out certificate so-and-so says they didn't receive it or they lost it, and I'd have to give them temporary access to their account to send those out. Well, now you're going to have access to all of your old events to see things like the event dashboard. You can see how many attendees went to which session, be able to send out those certificates, see all the registration, attendance analytics, leads analytics, run all your exports. So you'll be able to do all of those things that you typically want to do when maybe preparing for your next event and you want to go back and look at your previous event. In some approved communications, we actually added an exhibitor push notification. So if you're using our lead retrieval app, you're going to be able to now push a message to all of your exhibitors, whether it's, hey, we need the devices back by end of today, or any type of message that you want to send out to them. Now you can have it pushed on a schedule or done in real time. And we also have automatic welcome SMSs as well. So as soon as an attendee checks in at the event, they're going to receive an SMS message of your liking. Sometimes it'll be a message to say, hey, make sure you download the attendee app that you were using this year. So any message you want them to receive. And a few new exports. Now you can export companies, attendees with no check-ins, in case you want to see those who came to the event, maybe they forgot to check in or just didn't come to the event at all. And also new export for sent invoices. These were all exports that were requested by you, our clients. Now I'm actually going to hand it over to Garrett, who's actually going to go through these new features and show you how to use them.
Perfect. Thank you, Chad, so much. So we did a lot of things in 2023. We had some amazing features come out, and of course, they were all because of the feedback that we've received from our clients and your wish lists throughout the year. So we're just going to start with the first thing that we went through with the PowerPoint. We're just going to follow it down from the beginning of your event to the end. So the first thing we're going to be looking at is your conference countdown. So what we're looking at here, this is my demo account. It's kind of the event's already passed, so the countdown's no longer located here. But to enable it, you're going to come to Advanced Options and Settings, and we're going to climb into the General Settings and scroll down here to the bottom. And you're going to see your little Enable toggle over here. And like Chad said, you can customize the text. So I had a little fun with it, and I've named it Doomsday. We'll start in. Then of course, save your changes like always. And then you'll see that on the conference landing page. So just to remind everyone where that is, if you go into your setup under your conference tab, you have your landing page link right here. So we're just going to copy that. And it's important to open this up in an incognito window, a browser that you're not signed into. So going to that landing page, oh, I'm logged into this browser. Let's try a different one. We'll open up Firefox here. And we'll go on to that landing page, just pasting that link up there. And you'll see the conference landing page with your sessions and your schedule at a glance and your sponsors. Okay, so next on our list, we had our registration notifications. Let's get out of that browser. So when you get new registrations, you no longer need to come in and check Conference Tracker every day. You can have the system send you an email when you receive new registrations. And this is in both the attendee registration and the exhibitor registration sections. And as you step in, you'll see it right there at the very bottom at the front. You're going to turn this on and then type in the emails that you want to receive these notifications at. Now, if you're doing this with multiple people, as you get to put in your second email, you're just going to put in the comma. You can put a space bar, you don't have to, but if it's easier for you to view just as you're writing them in there, you can go ahead and just throw that space bar in there and keep on going. And like I said, these are going to send you an email whenever a new registration is received, and it'll send to all of the emails for both the attendee and the exhibitor registration. The setup is exactly the same. We're just going to turn it on and type in our email. So one of the next big things while we're in this exhibitor registration section here is the exhibitor booth registration. So to start, again, we're in advanced options, settings, exhibitor registration, and you have your booth reservation right here, and you're just going to turn this on whenever you're ready. Save your changes, of course, and you're going to notice that in your exhibitor panel, you now have booth registration. And you can set up different booth floors. So if you have two different exhibit halls, exhibit hall A, exhibit hall B, something like that, you can set up multiple maps. So just to look at what I've already got here, I've uploaded a file for us and created a couple different booths here. Now you have all of your different shapes available here at the top. We know sometimes these maps get weird, so we wanted to give you the option to have as much customization as possible. And of course, you also have a form free where you can just draw your own shape if you would like. So as you create these booths, you'll notice you have this panel over here on the right that pops up where you can assign your booth number, give it a description. So here I had an example where, this booth includes a power supply and a projector. Maybe you want to tell them it's a monitor or the size of the booth. If you have different categories for your booths, you can assign them here. So if only certain booths have power supplies and others don't, that's a great place to delimitate that. and of course the associated price if you're charging for booths or not. Sometimes if you just have your booth included with your sponsorship package, it's not necessary, but I know some events do, some events don't. Now, of course, if you do come in here at any time during your registration to add or change booths, as the event evolves, you'll notice that your status over here will change to one of the 3 colors that it shows you up here in the key. And this is to let you know which booths may be pending payment or have already been reserved, or of course are just ready for new oncomers. So next up, staying in with the registration theme that we've got going on, right? We have a new discount coupon type, the members, I call it the members discount. It's called the specific people coupon. So if you come into advanced options and discount coupons, when you're creating a new coupon, you'll notice that down here in the validity and expiration box, you have another option where you can make it valid for just specific people. Now this is email based, of course. That is the unique key for all the accounts in Conference Tracker, so that's going to be the same unique key that we use here. You can add these emails manually if you would like, and just hit the green gmail.com, sorry, and just hit the blue add button here as you make your list, or of course you can just upload a CSV file. And as well, we have the template right here for you, so you don't have to go to another page. You can just click here and download. Now, when you're making this file, you can use the header of email if you would like, if it's just easier when you create the file for your eyes, but it's not necessary. The system will just take a CSV file with just a list of emails. Of course, all the options stay the same, right? The amount and the different types of coupons, amount, percentage, fixed price, and of course, you still have to title the coupon and give it a code. But this is really great for if you have members versus non-members, or maybe you're giving presenters a specific coupon versus others versus your keynote speakers, or maybe you're giving students a special rate, but you already know your list of students that are coming. This is a great way to just kind of tighten the security of your discount coupons. So next up, one of my personal favorites for 2023, we had the ability to edit session registration for attendees. I know this was a big item on everyone's wish list last year, and of course we listened. So if you come into advanced options and settings, and you come into your attendee registration settings, you're gonna notice the extra toggle over here in your general box to allow attendees to edit their session registration. Now, once you toggle this on, attendees will be able to log in after the fact, after they've already paid for registration, their user account's been created. They'll be able to come in and edit their sessions. So I do have another attendee browser just loaded up here for us. So this attendee, of course, like I said, they've already gone through registration. This one already has an attendance log because they're my guinea pig when I do things in the system. So over here, when they're coming into their personal menu, they have their registered sessions option. And what's new here is this blue edit sessions box. They were always able to view their registered sessions, but the ability to edit them is what's new. So when they come into edit sessions, they'll see your list of sessions along with any fees associated, the presenter name and image. If they have a bio, they'll see that as well. And as you see here at the top, they also can see what they've already registered for. So like Chad said earlier, if they change their mind after registration, they can unregister with a click or change their mind again. You never know, right? So we're gonna unregister from this one, and we're gonna register for the session with the fee, and it gives them that nice warning that they are indeed registered. And we're gonna hit continue. And it's going to show them their summary English. Okay. It's going to show them what they added that was new. It's going to show them what they removed, any changes that were done here. And of course, if it had a payment fee associated, it's going to give them the option to pay that on the spot. Now, naturally, we don't want attendees to make edits to their registration that we haven't seen, that we're not alerted of. So on the admin side of things, you'll notice in your attendee menu, you have session registration transactions. This is where any of those pending transactions are going to take place, and they're going to wait here for you. Because all of your registration payments are done third party, your refunds have to be handled third party as well. So you'll be able to mark them as refunded and accept those changes. So I've already done this for us in advance of this. So that $10 fee that we saw earlier, you would mark it as refunded and you get this nice little green check mark here. As well, at any time you can come in and you can see the details of the transaction itself, what was changed. They had the $10 session moved to refund. And of course, as soon as you accept it, the attendee will get that change in their registered sessions menu. So the next new change, while we're still talking about registration, is payment reminders. So as we're all familiar, as people come through registration, if you have an invoice option, people will select it. And sometimes payment takes time with for different reasons, different associations, different companies. So if you come into your payment settings, you'll notice over here at the bottom, you have your payment reminders box over here. So once you enable the toggle box, the way that you want to read this is your on date is going to be something that you want to set before your event happens. So in this case, if we're going to set the on date to January 1st, we're going to enable a payment reminder to be sent out 3 days before this date and 5 days after this date. And of course, each box has its own enable. So if you only want to use the before date or just the late email, that's completely up to you. Now these payment reminders do go out to anyone with an invoice, an open invoice, pending invoice in the system. So if you haven't marked it, but they've paid through Stripe, you may have to come in here and mark it after the fact when they alert you, hey, I got this reminder. Oh, well, it's just because, the reminder went out before you got a chance to check on it. So one of the cooler features that we added in 2023, one of the cooler design features is going to be the schedule at a glance. So all the way up here at the very top of our menu in the conference tab, we have the schedule at a glance option now. And this is going to allow you to just create a nice visual schedule for your attendees. To add an event, it's very quick and simple. Just pick the date that it's on, give us the start time and the end time here, and then add your description. So what are the attendees doing here? We're just going to say they're doing registration. You're going to save those changes, and if we scroll down, you'll see that February 14th registration event. Now, these will show, so if your event is in a different time zone or you're setting this up in a different time zone, it will show you in parentheses underneath, oh, well, this is this time to this time in your time zone. It will specifically tell you to help you understand and alleviate confusion as you're setting these things up. Now, as well, you have the edit appearance option up here. When you come into here, you're going to be able to select the background color and the font color. And of course, if you change your mind, you can always just reset it back to these basics. Just remember, save changes as always, right? Now you have the publish and unpublish button here. So if you make changes during the event and you just want to unpublish it for a brief moment, you can unpublish this, make your changes, and then publish it back to that conference landing page whenever you're ready. Next up, really quickly, we're going to talk about badges, right? We made some badge formatting changes this year. So if you come into the design for your badges, you'll see here, just to help you out, like Chad said in the PowerPoint, sometimes your attendees may forget what the caps lock key does as they're filling out your registration. So just to make all your badges uniform, any of your text fields, this can go for any text field, so company, title, anything with a keyword. You can come down here into your text box settings, and at the very bottom, you'll see that text case where you can set it to upper, lower, or proper, like Chad said. That's the first letter capitalized, the rest of the word is lowercase. Of course, default is going to be however it was put into the system. This is of course, the default setting for this option. So if you are importing your attendees and you already know that all of your attendees' names are in the proper case, you can just leave this to default. As well, we had the snap grid lines option up here in your badge settings. So turning this on is going to activate those grid lines across the badge, and you'll notice when you want to just align things, it'll now snap to the top for you within that box. Of course, remember, save changes, very important. I know I sound like a broken record, but it helps. Now moving to after the event, right, we have the conference evaluation. So back in that conference tab at the very top, you have that conference evaluation link that Chad was talking about. You can create your evaluation. Once you come in here for the first time, it's just going to ask you for the name. Of course, we want to ask everyone what they thought about our event, right? So this is going to be set here for you. You have the ability to toggle whether or not these answers are anonymous if you want other attendees to be able to view the results as the answers come in. Naturally, you have your display colors, so if you want to theme out this evaluation, you can. Your publish date, so set this to the end of your event, or sometimes for virtual events, you would set this a certain amount of days after you've uploaded your recordings just to give everyone a chance to view everything. And like Chad said, you have your nice template here of pre-built questions. So if you can use this template, and if you just don't like one of these specific questions, you do just have a nice little trash can over here to delete it, or if you want to reorder them, you can bring them up and bring them down as you would like. Now you can start from scratch if you would like to just build your own. Of course, if you feel like you're putting too much thought into this, you can always bring back the template and just edit the questions that are already here. So next up, we have our exhibitor push notifications and our improved communication methods. So to start with the exhibitor push notifications in the exhibitors tab, down here at the bottom where your push notifications live, you have the ability to schedule out your push notifications throughout the event. Now, I like to encourage you to set up as many push notifications as you believe is necessary. Everybody likes good reminders. Now, these push notifications send out to exhibitors who are in use of the Leads app. So this is a great way if you are renting out scanning devices and things of that nature. You can send out a push notification to remind your exhibitors to return those devices to this booth by this time. Now, you can also set this up to all exhibitors or just an exhibiting company. If you have a specific message for a specific company that you want to get out there, this is a great way to send out some quick communications. As well, on the attendee side of communication, to help the organizers with getting attendees to download the attendee app, over in your attendance settings, as your attendees check into the event, again, this is using the check-in feature that comes with the basics package. So as they check in, if they have a phone number attached to their account and you have the attendee package, of course, because we're encouraging attendee app download, you can enable this feature here to have a text message automatically sent out to them with the Apple and Android App Store links to the attendee app, just to help them and encourage them to download the app if they haven't already. So of course, and final on my list, the exports. These exports, of course, you're going to be running maybe throughout your event, but of course at the end, you always want to keep records of what you've done. So we've added some new exports throughout 2023. These include attendees with no check-ins, so either they didn't come to your event or they just bypassed your check-in desk. You can get a list of those attendees in CSV, HTML, and Excel. As well, we had the companies export. So if you just wanted the exhibiting companies in a list with maybe their descriptions, sponsor levels, things like this, we simplified this into a smaller report for you into, again, CSV, HTML, and Excel. And then final on our export additions list, we added 2 more exports for specifically invoices, since we have invoices being sent out all the time during registration as a form of receipt. You now have 2 invoices, the attendee invoice is sent and the exhibitor invoice is sent. And this will give you not only the payment amounts and of course the person that the invoice was sent to, it'll also give you those totals in that export as well.